Hi guys, in this video I'm going to compare two Nord Lead 2 and 2X emulators, which are the Discovery Pro by discoDSP and Nodal Red 2X. In theory, they should be both able to load and to emulate Nord Lead 2X and also the 2, because the Nord Lead 2 and the Nord Lead 2X are basically the same instrument, and the patch architecture should be more or less the same, as long as I know, and the difference are more polyphony on the Nord Lead 2X and more and better converters. So let's try to load the two plugins in Logic, for example, and here I have set up the same very simple sequences, just a C3 on both instruments. So we will play only one note for the two instruments. And I have set up here on the first channel we have Discovery Pro, and on the second one we have Nodal Red. At the moment they are not on the same preset, but you can notice they have a very huge difference in volume, so this will be something to take into account. So let's hear the default patch that we have now in Discovery Pro. Okay, it's simply a bass sound, and let's now hear what's on Nodal Red 2X. And you can hear that by default there's a big difference, a huge difference in volume, and the volume on Nodal Red 2X is already at the maximum, and in Discovery is only at about 71%, 75%, something like that. So in order to compare the patches, we should probably adjust the volume. So let's try to load the same patch on both instruments. So let's just right click here in Discovery Pro and then go to File and then go to Import Nord Lead Sysex, and then we can browse to the Sysex file that we want to load. And I'm choosing this bank of pads and sweeps, and let's choose these a fifth pad number 1. And it's now loaded in Discovery Pro, and let's hear some very simple notes from that. Yeah, one of the problems that sometimes happens in Discovery Pro when you import a patch from the Nord Lead, that all the layers are set up. So this will probably sound like this. You see, usually there are all layers enabled. You simply need to disable layers that are not present in the patch. So this is the basic patch that we are going to compare. So let's do the same in Nodal Red. So let's click the browser, and let's go here to data sources and then right click and add the same file, exactly the same file that we have on Discovery Pro. Let's choose the same sound that we had before. So again, this is a fifth pad number 1, and let's go back to the main interface. And if you have a look around, you can see that the knobs and the knob position are more or less the same. There are small differences, but you can see that we have the same, of course, LFO settings and the same mod envelope setting, the same oscillator settings and the same amplitude and the same filter settings. Let's try and hear what's on the Nodal Red 2X. So you see we have the same patch basically, but the volume is a huge difference between the two. And again, the master level on the Nodal Red 2X is already at max, and the master volume in Discovery is a little bit above 70%, so we can try to lower it a little bit, or maybe let's try to use the mixer in Logic and see how they compare. So again, this is Discovery, which peaks at about -14, and let's hear Nodal Red. Yeah, you see it's still a little bit lower than the other one. So let's try to raise it a little bit. Okay, this should be more or less the same now. This peaks at about, yeah, a little bit less maybe. Okay, yeah, more or less we are there. So let's try to hear a single note on both synths. So let's start with Discovery Pro, and then I will switch back and forth between the two synths. You will see whenever I mute, the first one is Discovery Pro and the second one is Nodal Red. Let's start with Discovery and then we switch. And as you can hear, the sound are pretty much the same. I think the filter is a little bit more open in Discovery Pro. Maybe there's a little bit more resonance that in Nodal Red, but the sound is nearly there. So let's try to lower a little bit the resonance on the Discovery Pro, and let's listen to them again. Okay, I want to lower it a little bit more. Maybe close the filter as well a little bit. Yeah. Something like this, probably. Okay, now I will have Discovery Pro on the left and Nodal Red on the right. So we will listen to both of them. You can use headphones to better understand what's going on. Let's try to play them at the same time. This is Discovery Pro on the left, and this is Nodal Red on the right. And yeah, by just lowering the resonance maybe a little bit and the filter frequency, they are pretty much the same sound. So the emulation is nearly perfect, I think, and nearly identical on both scenes. And I have downloaded another preset from the Nord Lead 2, and this is called a church organ. Actually, it's not really that close to a church organ. So again, let's play just a couple of notes on the Discovery Pro first. And then I will do the same on the Nodal Red 2X, and I think in this case they are really identical. Yeah, pretty damn close in this case. And again, let's try to play a single note on the first one on Discovery Pro and then do the same on Nodal Red 2X and switch between them. So let's start again with Discovery and then switch to Nodal Red. Yeah, and again, there's maybe a little more openness in the filter on Discovery Pro and maybe a little bit more resonance, but the sounds are nearly identical. So again, we can try to lower a little bit the resonance and maybe also the frequency of the filter. And again, we can listen them left and right. So again, on the left, we will have Discovery Pro, and on the right, we will have Nodal Red 2X. And both together again. And last but not least, let's try again with a new sound. In this case, it's a bass sound, which is called attack bass. And Let's play some note on Discovery Pro first. And let's do the same on Nodal Red. And again, I have prepared a very small sequence here, and let's hear again in comparison. So Discovery first, and then I will switch between the two. So let's start with Discovery again. Yeah, and again, the sound is really convincing for both synths. And again, I think that the Discovery Pro has a little bit more edge, a little more volume, and maybe it's just a matter of removing a little bit of the resonance. But if you try to listen them together, stacked together, they have a very huge sound. And I want to try panning a little bit left and right, so it's not really a comparison, but just to make a thicker sound. And again, I think the sound is really there for both synths. Again, a little less resonance maybe on Discovery Pro, and they are really the same. Let's switch to Nodal Red. Let's go back to Discovery. And let's go back to Nodal Red. And that's it. I think they are really close together, just a little bit of tweaking, but they both support very well importing data and Sysex files and patches from the Nord Lead 2 or the Nord Lead Sysex. See you in a future video. Bye bye!